everyone, this is Carolyn from the library, and I wanted to follow up with a quick tour of the library website and how to search and access some of the online sources that we talked about today. So first of all, there's a couple ways to get to the library homepage. One easy way is if you're just starting at the Shoreline homepage, shoreline.edu. We can scroll over to current students, and we can use this library tab to get us directly over to the library homepage. From here, you can see that we have tabs for some of the different services and spaces that we looked at today. This is a great starting point, for example, to take you over to scheduling a study room. So you can see how we could select for next week, and you could make a reservation for a study room there for some group study or just some really, focused quiet time. You can open up this is the form to request a laptop to borrow for the quarter, which can be really helpful. We can check out this tutoring tab, and this is going to be some more information about the free tutoring at the Student Learning Center. So in addition to the physical space that we looked at today, you can schedule a tutoring appointment for, in person, but also online. You could also just meet with a tutor, kind of a drop-in tutor via Zoom online. And there's some other helpful information here about their hours and some of the kind of tutoring that they do. You can also use this tab down here to make an appointment with a librarian. So you could, say select for me, for Carolyn, and this can be a really useful resource for just some one-on-one help with any kind of research that you're doing, any kind of information need that you might have. It doesn't just have to be like a research project for school. So we looked at a lot of the physical resources like books or games or graphic novels that you can find in the library, but we want to look at some of the online resources. And the best way to do that is just with this main search bar from the library homepage. And that's going to help us access anything from news sources to ebooks. It's going to search the entire library catalog. So we can just start out with, say we're looking for newspapers, we can just start with the title of the newspaper. So say, just for an example, let's look at the Washington Post. So this might be something that's like, you need a subscription or it's paywalled, when you're just looking at it on the web. But from here, we can access it through our databases. We can see this first result is the newspaper, so that's exactly what we're looking for. And we can access it online right here. There's obviously a couple different ways that we can access it. These are all just different subscriptions that the library has that include the Washington Post, but they're all all get you to the same content. So I'm just going to pick the one at the bottom here. And at this point, if you're off campus or using like your personal computer or a phone or something that hasn't been logged in to Shoreline before, you may be prompted to sign in before this step. So that's where you'll type in your Shoreline Net ID, which is the same as your email address. It's looking for the username. It's going to usually be like your first name dot last name at go.shoreline.edu. So it's the same password as your email. And anytime you're having any difficulty with your email address or password, the technical support services site has a way to reset your password, and also like we talked about today, they have an office in the bottom floor of the library where they can also help out. And so what we get when we search for the Washington Post, it brings us right up to today's edition, but it's also helpful because this is really searchable. So if I want to search for, not just reading the newspaper today, but searching for a specific name or a specific event, it'll search our entire sort of like archive for that. And we can also go to different days. So, back, I think as far as, in this case, 2016. But so I just jumped over to May 1st, and it's a really easy, I think, way to sort of navigate how much content there usually is in every newspaper. And then let's check out, how about 3D printing shakes up the space industry? Looks like a cool article. So this is what you'll see when you click into the article. You'll have the full text all written out here that you can just read that way. you can go over and save to download this as a PDF. You also have the option to listen to this article, so it'll give you kind of the audio over here, which I think can be really helpful if you don't, always want to be staring at a screen. You can also translate this, so, we would do from English to all of these different options. We could potentially translate it. And in general, this is also a way that you can search within these articles, and sometimes it's nice to have it online that way. So for newspapers or anything like this, the search interface might be a little different for different newspapers or different databases. So really, I just encourage you to kind of explore and check out some of the different, tools and options there are. But I also want to show really quickly how to search for other resources online, like say ebooks. So we can go back to our library homepage. And instead of newspapers, say I want a book on a certain topic. I'm going to do, let's say, coding for beginners. I want to start learning how to code. And you can see by searching our whole catalog, we get about 700 results. But say I just want books, so that's going to narrow it down a little bit as well. And let's see, these are our results. Let's go with it. I like coding for beginners and easy steps. Sounds like a good start for me. And it's going to look kind of the same to access an ebook as it did just for us to access a newspaper. Like here, we can read it online. We can download a couple chapters at a time as PDFs. Here we can see like the whole contents of the book. And if we go to read it online, we can also navigate it really easily between chapters and pages. Let me pull up. And and skip right ahead to different things that we're looking for. So let's do converting data in chapter 2. And let's see, similarly, we can print things out, we can cite them. There's lots of little different tools that try to help make your research easier. So that's a quick overview of how to search in the library website and how to access things once you found them. Like I said, you may be prompted to sign in, which can be a little, sometimes kind of a barrier. So please reach out to either the library or technical support services if you're having any trouble with that. But yeah, there's a lot of digital resources through the library, so I really encourage you guys to just to explore. And of course, please reach out to me or anyone at the library for help or support. We're here for you.